Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's PF and on today's episode we've got a brand new Whisky In Whisky Out, this time for the month of December, and it leaves me to say a massive Happy New Year to all of you. This is my first video of 2024, so if you're joining me on this first video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and let me know in the comments below all of the things that you got in and killed over the Christmas period and throughout December. So yeah, if you don't know what these Whisky In Whisky Out videos are all about, they're literally the whiskies that came in through my door this month, in this case December, and the whiskies that have gone into the recycling bin. That's it, that's the concept. If you want to skip ahead to any particular part of it, then there's chapters below so you can just see the whisky ins if that's all you care about. Or if you want to see the whisky outs, the ones I actually killed, a bit more of an in-depth review of those rather than just showing you the bottles, then you can skip ahead to that as well. And as always, links to the video reviews of each of these bottles will be in the description below. But if I haven't covered it yet, it'll just say coming soon. So make sure you check back if you want to see those reviews when they come up. Final piece of kind of admin then is if you see any of these bottles, especially the whisky ins that you want to see reviews of sooner, make sure you drop that in the comments below as well to let me know so I can bump it up the list. In any case then, let's get straight into the whiskies and see what we've actually got. We've got quite a few in this month and not so many out, but that's the way we like that kind of tipping of scales. We like that. I've got plenty of room on the shelf behind me, so the more in the better. So let's just reach in, no particular order. Let's just grab them and see what we got. First up then, I've got the Ben Rummock, and this is the Contrasts Organic from 2023, distilled in 2014, whichever way around you want to talk about that. I actually got this as part of a set for cocktail making set that I did just at the end of last year. I think it was actually my last video. Pretty cool, fun little video where I make my first ever old-fashioned that I made myself on screen. It's a poor attempt, but you might find it funny. I got a lot of comments after that, and I got a lot of people actually texting me directly saying, hey, I can help you improve that, which was really lovely of people because I do need help. I'm not really a cocktail kind of guy. But yeah, so go and check that out. It's an interesting whiskey, but obviously I haven't covered it yet. I'm going to slide that just over there so everyone can still see it. Next up then, we've got the King's Barnes, and this is the Bell Rock. I think this is cask strength. Yeah, cask strength edition. 61.1%. I do like a King's Barnes, so I'll be looking forward to tucking into that. As you can see, I've still got the boxes here. You'll probably notice on my reviews, mainly because I have them up on a little thing to stand on, a little pedestal. I don't really have room for the boxes anymore, so I keep the boxes just in case I need them for the review. Sometimes they're interesting. I've got to say, neither of these are particularly interesting, but if they are interesting, then I will bring it out and do a little thing about it on the review. But other than that, they go in the recycling. As you can see behind me, hardly any boxes around unless there's a particular reason for me to keep it. Still going with the boxes then. Okay, here, I can never say this right. Kyro. This is from Finland, and this is, okay, so I've got this because I don't really like rye whiskey. I've tried a few that I've enjoyed over the periods of time, and I quite like high rye bourbon, so there's definitely somewhere in there for me to try something nice and rye. So this one here, I didn't really like their standard bottling, but the peat smoke part of this really intrigued me. So yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll see how we get on. I'll be reviewing it fairly soon, so you'll see if I actually manage to break into that kind of rye vibes at all. But again, you know, I've asked you guys to comment a lot below, but if there's a particular rye you think I should be trying that I haven't covered yet already, then chuck it below, because I'm going to keep trying until I crack this nut. Okay, final box then. You can hear the bottles jingling. Final box. We've got an Old Pulteney, and this is a Coastal Series Port Wine Matured. Got this as part of my Somerton Club box for December, which is pretty cool. They like to do a kind of nice Christmassy one. I like Old Pulteney. You know, this, obviously, your Somerton Club, we pay 50 quid. I think this retailed for like 80, 70, 80, something like that. Which, you know, I can't say for sure whether that's excessive or not, but obviously we got a good deal, is the final way of saying that. But yeah, obviously, if you want to see that review, let me know. Keeping on going again, this is super cool. Now, I actually got this in November. I got this from a gent called Tim, who's a barfly. He came over from the States, and first time I've met him, and he handed me this. And I was like, oh, brilliant, thanks, we'll open it up and we'll have a dram. And he was like, no, this is for you to take home. And I'd just like to take a moment there to say the incredible generosity of the whiskey community is unparalleled. Unfortunately, we lost one of our own this year, fairly recently, Al, the Whiskey Straight. He he was a bit of a legend for us, and as part of that I tried to kind of raise some money for his favourite charity, and you guys came through in spades, especially the Barflies, you know, the VPub guys. They came through in spades. This isn't a kind of a plea for that, because it's not closed, but I'll drop a link in the description below, so if anyone wants to chuck a tenner at that to help out the cause, then yeah. But yeah, between that and this, you know, the whiskey community is utterly incredible. But this here is a really, really, really cool collaboration between the Liquor Hound and the guys from Iron Root, the Licorice Brothers, and it's just so awesome. Obviously, you can see I've tried a little bit here. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because I will when I do the actual review of it. But I wanted to bring this one out because this Saint's Alley. I would never have this if it weren't for Tim handing me this. So what a legend! Cheers, fella. Keep going then. Now this one here, this is pretty cool. This is a Master of Malt Blair Athol 16 years. Now this I haven't bought. I've actually got quite a few of these to review now. I've got a Linkwood and a Speyside 6-year-old, but I'll get round to them, I promise. But there's a reason why I bought this. It's because it was so unbelievably cheap. A 16-year-old, I'm not sure if it was cask strength, but it's single cask. A 16-year-old single cask Blair Athol, £32. And for me, that's worth taking a punt on. So when I posted a picture about this, I sometimes when I get a delivery, I sometimes post a picture, you know, like standard one. When I posted a picture of this, Sam Simmons got in touch with me and said he was really glad that I got this bottle because he wanted to see it going into the hands of people that were going to drink it. And I replied saying, yeah, of course I was going to buy it. It was like 32 quid. How could I not? And that's when he replied saying what they'd done they didn't announce it, they didn't tell anybody. I think they must be selling this at a loss. Maybe not, who knows. But the price point that they decided to go with on this one was exactly for that reason. It was to surprise people, and people that were actually on Master of Malt every day, looking at the bargains, people that were buying these bottlings, these single cask bottlings. It was a bit of a present, almost, a bit of a thank you to them. So people like me, I guess, who are buying their bottles, and it wasn't gonna go be announced on emails or whatnot to let kind of crazy scalpers or whoever what you want to call them get involved. And I thought that was a really cool move. These guys have been doing really good stuff over the last, well, since 1985, right? But the last year or so, where they've been doing these bottlings, they've been doing some really incredible things, and I cannot recommend them enough. They sell out really quickly. This is already sold out, so unfortunately, I'll probably be a bit tardy with my review for this, because you'll want to hear my opinion, I'm sure, but you can't buy it, unfortunately. But that's kind of my point, is that if you go on Master of Malt and you see one of these bottlings that look like this, and it's a distillery that you know and love, or want to try, or anything like that, and it's a price point that you can afford, then take a punt. Take a punt and have a go, because I haven't had a single bad bottling from these yet. Probably the weakest is the 6-year-old Speyside that I've still got to review, but that was like £19. You know, it was like 20 quid. So it's worth a punt on a single cask 6-year-old Speyside. So yeah. Okay. Oh, I've got one more. Okay. Funnily enough, this was the only bottle of whiskey that I got for Christmas this year. I don't know if my family are running scared about buying me bottles, but yeah, still super grateful to have this. This one here is going to be some real intrigue. I will review it at some point, but I can't imagine but you guys watching this will be interested in it, because it'd be so hard for you to get. Anyway, this is I'm not going to massacre the name, but this is a Norwegian distillery, that Norskbrennery, and I've had one of their bottles before. Years ago I covered that. I think I've still got it as well. So this is them trying some French oak, which I think is pretty cool. It's like, you know, this is just available in Norway at the moment. I think if you're lucky enough to get it, then great. I've got the translation on the back here as well, so I'll be reading that out when I actually do the review. For some reason it's a countdown. I don't know anything about this bottle other than that. I've obviously tried it and enjoyed it. It's quite oaky, I will say it's quite oaky, but still an interesting drop nonetheless. Hopefully a lot of you will be interested in seeing that, but let me know. Let's put that in there. Okay, that was the Whisky In done. Quite a lot. I'm enjoying that. I like to see the shelves getting heavier rather than lighter, but as we know, we do kill some bottles. So this year I had some help, because obviously Christmas time and stuff like that. So, but still only 3. Now let's get into it then. Whisky Out. First one then, the Circumstantial Rice from the Circumstance Distillery in Bristol. Incredible, amazing liquid, and this was so cheap at the time. I think they must have been selling it at a loss, but before they released their single malt and single grain whiskies, they released a load of like really interesting things. I've got another one up there. I think it's the wheat, and I did almost buy the oat, but ran out of money. They've got a really cool coding system down here. This tells you, you can use this on their website, and you can find out exactly how it was made, because they're doing some really weird stuff. Like this one here, I don't think it was cask aged. It was aged in literally an IBC with oak spindles put into it. So obviously, you know, sticking the twos up to the SWA rules. This is in England, so they can do whatever they want, really. Oh, it's not called whiskey. It's called a grain spirit. It's I think it was, yeah, it's 21 months old, but I can't remember why. I think I tried it on a tasting, but I was blown away by this, and I just had to have it. And I kept it for as long as I could. It's been over a year now, but it was time to kill it. It was getting low, so it is dead. But yeah, go and check out my review of that one, because I go into all of these numbers about what it's about. And hopefully they'll do more interesting things like this, because their whiskey is good, but their kind of artisan experimental phase was really what I was interested in. So more of that, please. Okay, next we've got the, again, do you know what? I do this all the time. I do a Somerton in, Somerton out, all by accident. But yeah, this was a Somerton from last year, I think. King's Inch, Director's Cut, small batch release, best of bourbon, big old name. You can still get this. I think that's the back, actually. There you go. There's the front. They look quite similar. This was really interesting whiskey. Essentially it's a company that took over a distillery with their own recipes and whatnot, and it was all meant to be a relative secret. But even if you didn't know, if you've tried the Glasgow Distillery liquid and then try this next to it, the DNA is all over it. It's for me, I mean, as you can see, I know and love the Glasgow Distillery so well. I love nearly all of their bottlings. Not a massive fan of the Tokai releases, but that's not just them. Apparently every Tokai release that I've tried I've not enjoyed. But yeah, for me it was just obvious right from the start that's where it was. And that's no biggie to me. I appreciate that, because I like their liquid. So really interested in this. This was a decent drop from Somerton. Again, it was getting low, so I killed it, but I really enjoyed this bottle. It wasn't just a Somerton exclusive, it was then available outside, probably a few quid more. Somerton always gets a good deal, so and I think you can still buy it from Somerton as well. But yeah, really stunning whiskey. I was really happy with that. Now this is going to make a lot of you mad right at the end of the video. Sorry, I've killed off my dingle. Not only was this the only dingle that I had, but it's the only Irish whiskey I've got, or had. So right now, I'm just about to do my collection video, or will do in the next few weeks, and I've got no Irish whiskey, and I'm going to take such a hammering for that in the comments. Always do. People always have a go at me for my lack of Irish, but it is where we are. You know, Irish whiskey actually is getting quite hard to get hold of, I have to say, because we're now, Brexit happened, and it's now, you know, unless they've got a distributor in the UK, you can get hold of, like, you know, the normal stuff, you know, the kind of general things that you would expect to get. But all of these new distilleries that are coming out of the woodwork now, and they are just about releasing their first whiskies, I'm going to struggle to get them on the channel, genuinely. So unless they're sending them, I'm probably not going to get them, but we'll see. I do need to get more Irish whiskey. I am guilty of, I don't want to say ignoring it, because I'm not doing it intentionally. I have no reason to ignore Irish whiskey. I'm just absolutely smothered in Scotch. You know, it's just here. It's here and present to me all the time. So, and of course, I'm loving English whiskey at the moment as well. And there's only so much whiskey I can buy. But anyway, this was stunning. Really enjoyed this. This is just a triple distilled Irish whiskey, standard release. It was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Nice bottle as well. Be ashamed to see it go. There you go. That's the end of my Whisky In Whisky Out for December. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're still sticking with me through 2024 and beyond. I've got loads planned this year. I'm going to be kicking up again with reviews next week. I'm also going to be kicking up a few sample Saturdays. I'm probably not going to do many of those. I'm going to clear my backlog of sample Saturdays, and then I'm probably going to say no to samples for a while, just to let me ease into it. As you probably noticed, I didn't do any videos on the back end of December. Caught a bit of mental burnout. Had to focus on me and my family, and now hopefully I've got a bit more enthusiasm for it, and I'm back into it again. More reviews, more sample Saturdays, and some other vaguely interesting things coming up, hopefully fairly soon. But yeah, there you go. There's me Whisky In, Whisky Out, and I will see you again on more videos. Make sure you go and check out the reviews for all of this and all of the other stuff. Love it when you watch. Thanks all for your support and whatnot, and I'll see you again on videos coming soon. Cheers.